The natural phenomenon of what we now know as social media is for people to constantly ask these questions. How to get more followers? What do they want to hear? Or what content they want to read? There are a lot of answers that can help you win this game, but the most important answer to this question is storytelling. Find out how in today's video episode. Author J.K. Rowling once said, "No story lives unless someone wants to listen." It is safe to say that on a daily basis, what every one of us is doing or should be doing is to tell stories. As a content creator, your goal is to turn people into listeners first before they become your followers. YouTube as a content creation platform is more crowded than it is right now, but the fact remains that it is so easy to pick up only a handful of channels which you would really find helpful to your journey. The fact that more people are choosing more valuable content right now is proof that there is still a huge opportunity for creators who are creating meaningful content. And at the heart of this lifestyle is learning how to tell stories on social media. Stories are a universal language that everyone can use and understand. And if you are on social media right now, you would want to be understood. If you are selling your products or services, you need clarity. If you are an advocate of social change, you need clarity. You need to tell stories. The test of good storytelling is human connections. If your stories can provoke connection between people, then you have done it right. Let me just state the obvious. People are creating many stories on social media networks. But as I have mentioned many times in my other videos, not all stories are for everyone. And not everyone will resonate with your story. You just have to make sure you're talking to the right audience. Social media storytelling is the process of using social media platforms to tell stories about your brand, products, or whatever to captivate your audience. So how do you do this the right way for social media? First, your story should encourage the listener's active imagination. It should empower them to visualize in a vivid way elements of your story based on how they experience it. This makes your story relevant to them, and if it's relevant, they will stick to your story. Second, you should not see social media storytelling as another tactic to sell or earn more money, rather a process of exposing the value of your brand to your audience. This process requires accountability. So make sure you will not sugarcoat your stories just to make your brand look good. In the age of artificial intelligence and machine learning, you can't get away with this. Third, avoid being too pushy when you tell your brand story on social media. Don't preach. Make sure you will not tell people what to do. It's better if you focus on talking about why people should do what matters to them and how your brand believes this process can result in something valuable in the end. Fourth, show and not tell. Show how people are actually trying to help other people. Show your brand as an enabler of people who wants to make a difference. If you are a design company and you think this is not relevant to what you're doing, think again. What design processes encourage sustainable development? What design elements can be done without harming the planet? This may not be popular to everyone but meaningful to some. Fifth, be a visual storyteller. There's enough data to prove that there is better engagement with visual posts compared to just text. So you would want to add an image or a video to make your social media posts more engaging. It takes more effort than typing words on the what's on your mind text box. But if you would mean a whole lot when you put in the extra work. Sixth, clarity of your purpose. It's easy for people to follow you if your purpose is clear. Why are you posting your stories? Why should people care? You need to spend time figuring this out. A great way to do this is by using hashtags. Hashtag healthy at home. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag MeToo. These are social issues that may resonate with your brand. Using these hashtags will make your purpose clearer. But you are not limited to social issues. Let me be clear. 7. Develop a long story. This is the real story of your brand. And along the way, you tell the story in bite-sized stories on your social media. The long story should lead to an end goal. Once you realize that every piece of content you produce contributes to your brand and business story, you'll want to get audiences involved in your story over the long term. Lastly, be remarkable. Most social media posts end up being liked by tons of people, but the real question is, how many lives were changed? Did they end up doing something after reading your story? Remember, finding out what is meaningful to your audience will not be difficult if you know who your audience is. And being remarkable to a specific few is always better than trying to be generic for everyone. Storytelling is an art. It goes beyond a piece of paper with a beginning, middle, and end. There are many creative ways for you to create unforgettable stories. You just need to put in the extra work. Most importantly, your level of confidence in telling your story will reflect how authentic your story is. And remember, no work is wasted. If you think it's not working, move on to the next story and wait for the right time when that story ends up being useful for you and your brand. If you are getting any value out of this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will not miss out on videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching. It's time to go to work. It's your time to grow. See you in my next videos.